but I do need to check the stream on my desktop. Yeah, I'm actually playing Umineko right now with my old laptop that I was using throughout college since, yeah, I have all my save files on it, so I have not transferred everything to my desktop. Plus, I'm so close to the end that I don't feel like it's necessary to re-download this game onto another computer just for the last chapter. Although it is a bit, disorienting because I mainly use my desktop now and I hardly use this laptop that I'm on. So it's like disorienting when I have to switch between the two screens. Yeah. Converting to a new computer is awesome, but at the same time, I do need to finish my work on this one. I think after I'm done with Umineko, I'm probably going to repurpose the machine I'm currently on to be a Linux machine since I've been wanting to learn Linux. Yeah, I don't like a lot of Windows recent decisions by AI tracking, so I kind of want to, see how Linux works. Even though almost everything runs on Windows or Mac, so at the current moment, like, I have a lot of softwares I work with regularly. However, I also don't like the spyware that Windows basically puts on your devices through the AI stuff. Hello, Alex, it's been a while. But yeah, that's my beginning ramble. So sorry for missing past streams. Oh, don't worry about it. You're studying, so focus on your studies. I mean, all the streams are archived afterwards on YouTube, so I really don't mind at all. But yeah. The streams are all up and running. This is part 138 of my Umineko Let's Read. It is shocking to say that this is part 138. I've been streaming this game for a while. Well, it used to be a recorded series, and then I decided to move it to be a live series, since I actually have more fun streaming games live rather than playing by myself without really outside commentary. I actually like playing games with outside commentary, surprisingly. I sometimes play games without commentary from other people, though it just feels different when I'm playing games alone. I guess I'm more of a social gamer. Even if it's a single-player game, I just sometimes want to have a conversation either through text or, just talking with someone. It's a weird, gaming behavior that I don't know. Yeah, I don't know if this is, normal. I hope we can talk about Umineko stuff in great detail once it's all properly over. I have so much to discuss with the story. Yes, I should probably, start setting up some, discussion streams post-Umineko, on just, talking about the series. Don't know if I'm gonna... Yeah, I'm probably gonna make those live as well, so that we can do, live commentary on the series, but I can set that up once I'm done with the series. But yeah, I definitely want to, talk more about Umineko with other people, since, in a way, we're all theater goers, or witches, who talk about the same tale. And this tale is about to be documented in the library, so might as well talk about the book we found. I'm also still waking up since I woke up 1 hour ago, so I still have the morning grog in my throat. Yeah, starting my streams earlier in the day definitely allows for me to get more of my audience to watch my videos, though it is a struggle to wake up sometimes to perform. Because usually before most of my streams, I'm already been awake for a few hours. I'm still trying to feel the caffeine I just drank from a coffee earlier. I'm still not, feeling that caffeine. I've never had the privilege of playing with someone. It just is what it is. It's more fun to play with someone else. I do agree, yeah. Games in a sense, I'm going into some game design philosophy, but games are a social activity. It comes into the processes of play. Oh man, I don't want to go too philosophical at the beginning of this stream since I would never start, playing the game today if I go into some of my thoughts on game development and my theories on, what games are in terms of play and human behavior. I am considering getting a master's soon. Well, starting a master's soon, so I've been thinking about different theses for a paper. Although that's a discussion for another day, since I should probably get to playing Umineko, since I do need to get going at around 1 p.m.-ish my time, so I'm going to go ahead and start playing the game. But yeah, I'm still going to banter throughout the stream, of course, but I don't want to go too deep into a subject before I start playing the game. I'm at the swimming pool right now. My family is swimming today, but I'm not, so I might be gone for a little bit when I have to drive back home. Oh, that's all good. Have fun at the pool. And, well, watching my stream at the pool. Ava had broken the magic circle around the key beforehand after all. By the time Battler and Angie reached it, it was falling apart like the sand in the hourglass. They tried punching and kicking it to make it break faster, but nothing they did hastened the process. Isn't this like a magical circle? Like, I don't think brute strength will break a magical circle.
だいぶ前に壊してくれたみたいだけど、それでもまだ時間をかけそうだわ。
多分あと少しなんだ。おそらくあと5分も稼げれば。
Judging by the speed the magic circles were crumbling and the general appearance of the whole scene, it looked like it would be over soon. Where are we again? Oh, we are right when Battler and Angie are trying to break the magical seal to get the key back from Burn Castle before Feathering reveals the book to the public. However, right now, could even 5 minutes be considered soon? They turned around. Oh no, are the cats coming? Beyond the bookshelf ravine was a universe. Even for Battler, who had seen Beto's fights many times over. The battle between Lambda Delta and Burn Castle was so mind-defying that he couldn't even think of a single word to describe it. When he finally managed to find a word, it was a universe. Each time a battle between Lambda Delta and Burn Castle unfolded, a universe was created between the pair of them. Big bangs would take place. God damn! This is like a celestial battle! Big bangs would take place, universes would be created, galaxies beyond number would be born in a race. Then, just when it seemed that a big crunch had occurred and that the universe had met its demise, there would be another big bang, and another universe would be created. Big crunch. Is that an actual term? Wait, is that an actual term in science? Big crunch. Oh my god, yeah, it is actually a term. I have never heard of this. What? The Big Crunch is a hypothetical scenario for the ultimate fate of the universe, in which the expansion of the universe eventually reverses and the universe recollapses, ultimately causing a cosmic scale factor to reach absolute zero, an event potentially followed by a reformation of the universe starting with another Big Bang. Oh my god, I've never heard of this term. I think this is the first time I've seen this term. Very interesting, actually. Very interesting. And this is why Umineko is so insanely revered in the power scaling community. Oh my god, yes. I have a few friends that talk about power scaling of shonen series, and they always talk about Umineko. Like, they never have read Umineko nor heard much about it, but in terms of power scaling, they talk about Umineko in terms of power scaling. I have no clue how this phenomenon has occurred, but Umineko has drastically changed the power scaling community, especially those within shonen fighting series. I don't know how that has even happened. Wait, you didn't know about the Big Crunch? Yes, I did not. There's also the Big Bounce. Big Bounce. Wait, wouldn't that be the bounce from the Big Crunch to the Big Bang? Big Bounce. I have a lot of things to research after the stream. The Big Bounce hypothesis is a cosmological model for the origin of the known universe. It was originally suggested as a phase of the cyclic model or oscillatory universe interpretation of the Big Bang, where the first cosmological event was the result of a collapse of the previous universe. Oh. Okay. Very intriguing. There's a lot of things I need to, watch after this stream tonight. I mean, today. It's the morning for me. But yeah, no, there's a lot of cool things I do need to research, especially with, like, the Big Crunch and the Big Bounce. I wonder if there's, like, YouTube videos from, like, physicists on YouTube that I can watch on this subject. Like, I could definitely read books on it, but books get expensive. Or just find a PDF on the Wayback Machine. It was like watching gods playing. The two witches created and destroy worlds over and over again. almost as though the two creators were fighting to prove that their universe was the right one. If you let your guard down in the slightest, then just watching this would steal your soul. That's how it felt. Basically, Big Bang, then Big Crunch, then Big Bang, and repeat. That cycle is the Big Bounce. Ah, so the Big Bounce is like the overall cycle of Big Bang and the Big Crunch. Oh, okay, that actually makes sense in terms of terminology. Something violent occurred. Oh, they are so having fun. They're enjoying this
もう
battle.
すぐで鍵が取り返せる。そしたらラムダデルタのくれたかけらで黄金鏡へ帰れるのよね。
But what would be left of the Golden Land? Since they're doing a big fight there, like, what's gonna remain of it?
演者は鍵を取ったらすぐ帰れ。俺はラムダデルタを放っておけない。
Oh no, the siblings are about to fight again about who's staying behind and who's going.
あの戦いの中に飛び込むっての？
だが放っておけねえだろ。二人の戦いは確かに常軌を逸してる。だが完全に拮抗してて互角なんだ。ってことはな、俺みたいな人間風情一人の火星でも何かを崩せるかもしれない。
A perfect balance maintained by two great powers can easily break by adding even a little strength to one side. However, actually rushing in there to add that little bit of strength would literally be suicidal. Yes, that is literally suicidal, battler. I mean, technically you're already dead, so it's not really going to be too impactful. That sounds so horrible. Like a moth flying into a furnace. Damn. It might burn up before he even reaches it. Yeah, no, I can see that happening.
鍵を手に入れたらエンジェはすぐに黄金鏡へ飛んで帰れ。向こうもいつまで持ちこたえられるかわからない。
みんな戦ってるのに私一人だけ帰れない。
そうだな。これはお前の戦いなんだ。だからお前は戦え。みんなと一緒に死ねなかったことを悔やみながらその気持ちに打ち勝って未来、それをお前は決意したはずだ。
Angie had no words to respond with. Her brother and everyone else would probably die. So she wanted to die in the same place and at the same time as everyone else. However, that could not be allowed, and she mustn't wish for it. She had already made up her mind. She had sworn to live in the future without turning back to look at everyone's deaths.
黄金鏡に帰ったらベアドに鍵を見せろ。するとベアドはお前の前に2つの扉を示す。そしてお前に簡単な謎かけをし、そのどちらかを開くように言う。それが俺のゲーム版の最後のゲームだ。
2つの扉。
2つのうち片方はお前を未来へ導く。大丈夫。今のお前なら絶対に間違いない。そしてそれをくぐったら扉が閉まるまで後ろを振り返るな。
We're going to be having two doors. Does that mean, are we going to be choosing the door as the player? Very interesting. Because one of the doors will lead Angie to the future. However, the other door is not going to lead Angie to the future. I wonder what that would mean. Is it the fact that would Angie, want to live on? Or do we want Angie to live in the past? Like, that's kind of like the question going on here. Do we actually have Angie go through with her determination to live on for her family? Or are we going to choose as the player to have her regress back into her initial mindset of wanting to stay with them in the past? Interesting.
どうして振り返っちゃいけないの？
扉が閉まれば俺たちの運命はお前には分からない。つまり俺たちは猫箱の中に閉ざされる。
Ah, okay, so if you choose the other door than the one for the future, you get to see the fate of everyone, or potentially see the fate. That's not a promise that you would actually see what happens in the cat box. However, now Angel will have the choice of closing the cat box for good, or going back to, I'm not even looking at the camera, or going back to just stay in the past. Oh man. I'm hoping that is an easy answer of going through the door, or going through the door to the future, or going through the doors of the past. Oh no. Oh no, I'm afraid that I'm gonna get the wrong answer.
猫箱に閉ざされた運命は無限の真実を持
But
つ。
Beatrice is going to be giving us a puzzle, I believe. So depending on the answer of the puzzle, that's what we decide on. Okay. I mean, yes, I could choose the wrong answer, but depending on the puzzle that Beatrice gives us, we can, see what door would lead to the future of closing the cat box for good.
そういうことだ。俺たちはボロクソに負けたかもしれねえし、奇跡の大逆転で生き残るかもしれねえ。つまりお前という未来の魔女に俺たちの決着を観測させずに未来に送り出せれば、俺たちには勝機があるってことだ。
Hello, I'm new. What is Umineko about? I have a whole playlist of videos for you to catch up on. I have a whole playlist of videos for you to catch up on.
だが、お前がいつまでも俺たちを見ていたら、お前は俺たちが全滅するところを見ちまう。そうなりゃ 100% の敗北が確定だ。だからお前は俺たちに勝利の奇跡を与えるためにも、扉をくぐったら決して振り返っちゃいけない。いいな。だから俺はラムダデルタを助けに行くのさ。その俺の勇姿を見送って黄金鏡に帰れば、それがお前の中での俺の最後の姿になる。
There's my weekend sorted out. Yep. You're welcome for helping you out figure out what you're doing this weekend. You could probably watch all the videos on 2x speed if you don't want to, sit through every single second. Or sit through every single second so I could get Also, welcome to the stream.
お兄ちゃんたちの勝敗は猫箱に閉ざされる。だから絶対に負けない。
そういうことだ。だから振り返るな。もうじき鍵が手に入る。一目散で黄金鏡に帰るんだ。だから今のうちに手短に未来のお前に俺からメッセージを送れ。いいか、忘れるなよ。よく心に刻んどけよ。いついかなる時もな、生きる希望を捨てるんじゃねえぜ。俺たちはいつだってみんなお前の後ろにいるんだ。
Who's your favorite bro? I guess Balor in this case, since he's literally sacrificing himself for his little sister.
お前が信じてさえくれりゃ声だってかけられるんだ。いいな、信じろ。奇跡はな、信じれば絶対に叶うから。
I'd be very careful using the term miracles, especially when you're nearby Burn Castle. Oh god, that's Flash! At that moment, Lambda Delta and Burncastle were wrapped in a massive explosion. Surely one of them had delivered a powerful blow. There were no further explosions, so that strike must have decided the match. Who's your favorite sister then? I mean, Angie's pretty badass. When the smoke clears, who will be left standing? When you think about it, there's not a lot of brothers and sisters in Umineko outside of... Okay, well, there's the adults, like the parents, but, yeah, like, in terms of the cousins, there's only Battler and Angie, but I guess in a way you could count, Klaus, Rudolph, Ava, and Rosa as, like, the brothers and sisters of Umineko. I mean, Angie still's the best sister of all the characters. I mean, okay, I do like Ava quite a bit. Rosa, I'm not a big fan of, though. Hello, Zartan. When the smoke clears, who will be left standing? The magic circle sealing the key still needed several minutes to dissolve. It's going to be Burncastle, since Lambda Delta might be gone. Ooh, that would be a problem, though. Who's it going to be? Fuck. Oh no, that's a problem. That is a huge problem. She may be a Kompeto candy. Best of luck with the playthrough. Umineko is my favorite story. You have earned yourself a sub. Thank you so much, Xander. All that came into sight was Burncastle. There was no answering voice from Lambda Delta. Fuck! Oh no! Fuck! If this was a sign of her victory, it did not cause Burncastle's expression to grow any brighter. Fuck. Oh, that's not good. That's actually really bad. I mean, I feel like things were a little bit too easy for Angie and Battler right here, so they probably needed some sort of adversary. Burncastle was still focusing all of her nerves on the battle. Did she become a sugary popcorn? Ooh, it could be a Kompeto or a sugary popcorn. Maybe when Burncastle thinks she's, you know, having victory, all of a sudden a kernel appears nearby her, and it pops to reveal Lambda Delta. Burncastle was still focusing all of her nerves on the battle, so she took no notice of Battler and Angie by the key. However... Oh no! Oh, that is... Oh, they're in so much pain right now, the both of them. Especially Battler, my god! His expression! Oh my god! However, she would probably notice... I kinda wish that Angie would have similar expressions as her older brother. Oh god, that's really funny, actually. And then there would be nowhere to run. The last section of the magic circle was starting to fade away. Ooh, it could be until the last second. However, almost cruelly, the final circle went slower than the rest. Ah, of course. Seeing that, any hopes that it would dissolve in a minute, or maybe a few dozen seconds, were crushed absolutely. What about Ava Beatrice? Because she's still around somewhere. At least, to my knowledge, she's still around somewhere. So maybe they might have a chance if Ava Beatrice appears. But I feel like this is a quiet exit for Lambda Delta, so I don't think we're done with her just yet. Because I feel like it's not in her character to have an exit like that. Battler readied himself. Like, I'm expecting for some, like, grand scene of, you know, Lambda Delta getting defeated. At least that's what I'm thinking. I mean, any second counts at this point. Oof. And before Battler goes up, I actually need to use the restroom real quick, so I'll be right back. Alright, your man with the small bladder is back. I literally told people I would not say it. I literally told people I would not say that joke, but I did. Oh man, it is super foggy out though. Like, literally where I live, it is super foggy. Alright, let me get back to the game.
お兄ちゃん。
偉いぞ、エンジ。
Alright, let's see what happens to Balor.
よく止めなかった。
With tears still pouring down her face, Angie lovingly rubbed her cheek against the hand that had been patting her head.
また子猫たちを集めなきゃ。
Oh.
バトラも一緒にいると思ってたのに、その姿がないのはおかしいわ。
Oh, please tell me he does a sneak attack. Please tell me he does a sneak attack.
あんなやつ一人でも残しておけば、靴に入り込んだ小石程度には厄介だものね。
Sometimes that pebble in your shoe can be very hard to get out. The smoke cleared completely, and they saw a huge cloud of candy bits floating around, like it was Lamb Delta's corpse. I feel like she's not done yet, though. A star-shaped cookie bounced off of Berncastle's head. Yeah, okay, that's definitely her. By the way, I just came back from Croatia presenting my paper. Hell yeah! Welcome back home, Zartant. Even though we're definitely not in the same country for me to say welcome back. But yeah, it's probably, you know, relaxing to finally be done with presenting. It was missing one of its points, giving it a lonely feeling. Ooh. That could be symbolic of Lambda Delta's death. Berncastle's so scary. I can see where she could be intimidating. I guess I'm not fully scared of Berncastle, but in terms of the way that her interpretations or the way that you could, you know, perceive her, she can definitely be a little unnerving to, you know, read about.
ラムダデルタ、私と共に生きなさい。私の中で、あなたは私と一つの宇宙になるの。
Oh, she's gonna eat Lambda Delta, isn't she? Berncastle chewed the cookie and swallowed it. Yep. She just ate Lambda Delta. What if Lambda Delta reforms while inside Berncastle and she just blows up?
これで私たちは永遠に一緒よ。
Oh man, if that happens, I would not want to see how that's depicted in the manga. That would be just horrifically violent. I mean, for some of the descriptions of the violence in Umineko, I wonder how the manga, you know, shows it. Especially with, like, all the gore and viscera that, you know, is in the script of the visual novel. How would the manga depict that? Because at that point, it's going to be a gore manga. Like, I don't see the issue of it being a gore manga, but that definitely affects its age rating. Wait, what is the Umineko manga rated? I've not read it yet, but I do own volumes, so I'm going to see the age rating, at least in the North American region. Oh, older teen. Huh. So apparently the Umineko manga is older teen. I need a... There's still sticker residue on it. Oh my god, the sticker residue is so annoying. I'm going to fix this after the stream. I do not like sticker residue on books. Like, the one thing I don't like sometimes from secondhand stores is the things that they do in terms of, like, adding stickers onto paper. Why would you add a sticker to paper? This also goes for game cartridges. Like, sometimes in, like, old game cartridges, especially with the Super Nintendo and NES, for some reason, geniuses at some stores put the barcode or sticker for their shop on the fucking label. Why? Why? It's so annoying because it ruins the cover art. Oh man, this is from my experience working at a secondhand shop where I actually try to take care of the cover art of old, you know, cartridges and old, you know, just magazines in general. Yeah, we also get video game magazines sometimes at the secondhand shop I work at. Like, take care of old paper. It's fragile, and most of the time people won't fix them unless it's like super rare or popular. And apparently the Umineko manga is a gore manga. Okay. Well, I look forward to seeing the depictions that they do from the manga. Actually, who drew the manga? Oh, it's different authors like they did for the Higurashi manga. Got it. Yeah, I was like thinking about that since the Higurashi manga series, they used different illustrators for each of the volumes or each of the chapters of Higurashi. So I think they did the same thing for the Umineko manga. It's like different illustrators for each of the different episodes. For example, I'm just going to pull out 2 different volumes real quick. Yeah, so... Okay. Yeah, so for Legend of the Golden Witch, it seems like artist named Kei Natsumi drew it. I don't really know Kei Natsumi's art style. I don't think I've read any of their works, really, or any of the works that they have adapted. So, yeah, I actually look forward to seeing how they depict Umineko characters as well as their art style, since I've never really seen a lot of work from this artist. Meanwhile, one of my favorite illustrators for Higurashi drew the Turn of the Golden Witch manga, which is episode 2, basically, and it's Jiro Suzuki. Jiro Suzuki drew some of the best arcs of Higurashi. Like, if I pull up one of the examples of Jin Suzuki's works, yes, I'm doing a little bit of a side tangent since we're talking about the Umineko manga, and I actually own physical copies to show it off. But yeah, to show this in full view, for the second chapter, or second episode of Umineko, Turn of the Golden Witch, it's drawn by Jiro Suzuki. And Jiro Suzuki, I'm just going to place this in the back table for right now before I put the books back on the shelf. Jiro Suzuki drew some of the manga for Higurashi. Yeah, no, I enjoyed their art style for the Tatari Goroshi version of the manga. Yeah, the Curse Killing arc or Tatari Goroshi. Jiro Suzuki drew the art for Tatari Goroshi, and their work can be haunting at some times. Like, their panels. Let me see if I can find a good panel of, like, one of the haunting scenes of Tatari Goroshi. Ooh, okay, yes, I found a good example. The Great Hinuizawa Incident. The way they drew Keiichi, figuring out what happened to Hinuizawa, is haunting. Like, they don't even show his face because he's covered with a gas mask to, you know, just cover up his initial expression. Like, I feel like that is haunting. Just seeing Keiichi hear the news of what happened to his friends, family, and all the villagers in the village he's come to, you know, love. Like, him hearing the tragedy that occurred was haunting in Suzuki's depiction of Tatari Goroshi's final chapter. I'm excited to read Jiro Suzuki's take on Umineko, especially in terms of the art style as the illustrator for the second episode. Oh, man. That's the episode where it's actually pretty intense with how everyone was killed, especially the Halloween party. Like, the Halloween party in general is going to be an intense scene to read in the Umineko manga, especially since Suzuki drew it. Suzuki is really good at making haunting visuals, so I'm very excited to read their interpretation of Umineko. But let's get back to playing Umineko before I continue talking about art styles of manga. Actually, I should put away that volume of the manga. I'm trying to keep my office a little bit tidy and not messy. Alright, let's get back to the game. Knew it. I'm not even shocked. I'm not even shocked she's back. Like, I knew it was gonna happen. Burncastle's stomach suddenly swelled like a balloon. Oh! Oh my god! What the fuck? Oh my god! Okay, I was making a joke! I was joking! I did not think she would actually do that! I was fucking joking! The bulge rose from her stomach to her throat. then exploded like a firework from her mouth. Who the fuck drew the episode 8 manga? Who the fuck drew? Okay, I'm going to see who drew this. Hold on. Who draws the manga for episode 8? Because I wonder how that's going to be shown. It's K Natsume. K Natsume. So he drew for episode 1, and he's also the illustrator for episode 8. So I have to see his art style. Like, did he draw any of the Higurashi manga? I don't think he did. Wait, K Natsume. K Natsume. Yeah, Natsume K. No, he did not draw any of the, main series Higurashi books. Onio Koshihen? Onio Koshi? I have never heard of Onio Koshi. Oh, it's post Matsuri Bayashi. Got it. That's why I've not heard of it. Yeah, it's post Matsuri Bayashi. I don't know any of the post content from Matsuri Bayashi on, so yeah, I should probably have to, look into that. Interesting. Very interesting. I should get back to playing the game. I am on so many side tangents, but I get excited whenever I get to talk about mangakas of like Higurashi and Umineko, because I feel like I don't talk about them enough on this channel. I should probably just do like manga videos. Like I have been meaning to make more video content that is not gameplay videos, so I might make some manga videos. But that's for another day. But God, I wonder how Natsumi is going to depict this, because I've not seen his art style yet. But if the Umineko manga is gory, I'm wondering if Natsumi, does well with gore. Like, I wonder how he depicts the gore. From Burncastle's mouth spewed fireworks, sparks, fragments of candy. Oh, this is gonna be such a disgusting panel to see. Oh God, I'm just visualizing what this would look like right now, and it's so gross. Oh.
直せないの？猫の頃の習性は。怪しいお菓子を拾い食いしちゃダメでしょ。
Good advice. Okay, that had to be painful. Burncastle double over even more, still spinning up an exploding firework. The birth of a small universe from that sweet had hit her directly from the inside of her stomach. Ow! That had to hurt. Even Burncastle couldn't withstand that. Yeah, no, that's definitely fucking painful. As Burncastle repeatedly vomited fireworks so violently that it seemed like her guts would spill out. Her body flickered in and out of existence, and she glared at Lame the Delta with a terrifying expression. Yeah, that's gotta hurt like hell. Like, I have IBS, Burncastle, if you ever want to talk about it. Her body was flickering. Oh my god, that's not even in the text box. Her body was flickering because I had taken so much damage that even maintaining her form was now difficult. That's not even in the text. Okay, yes, I should not be, that guy, but I know how you could fix that. Instead of breaking up those two lines, you probably could have had her in the beginning of the second paragraph, right after her expression, or having, the second paragraph be its own, separate dialogue that you click from. Like, basically after expression, you could have just, like, changed or updated the, text box text to be the next line. Sorry, did not mean to do live QA. It's still showing up in the bottom. It was... Nope, I am not going to go into the technical details of how I feel like that could have happened. It also could be just like a bug from porting this from the PS3 in Japanese to the computer in English, since I think that sentence might work in Japanese without breaking out of the text box. And then the English translation, it was like a direct one-to-one translation rather than going into the programming and adjusting the text box. So there might have been nothing that you could have done to fix that, especially since the original text boxes and the original text was directly translated from the Japanese version of a PS3 game onto the computer. I don't know what engine Umineko was programmed in.
お姿が見慣れていてよ。
Oh man, I want to look it up, but I've been going on so many side tangents. Well, okay, if you're a viewer of this channel and seen a lot of my videos, you know how many times I go into side tangents, so I gotta know. Umineko PS3 port, what was it programmed in? It's probably some Japanese software. What did Alchemist use? Huh. They might have not made that public though. Okay, so Rikishi at the very least used a program called Nscripter. Nscripter? I've not heard of Nscripter. Hold on. Nscripter. A game engine developed by... Okay. It's abbreviated as NSCR. It is a game engine developed by Naoki Takahashi between 1999 and 2018, functioning with its own script language, which facilitates the creation of both visual and sound novels. The SDK is only available for Windows. Okay, so it's a Windows-only software. It's a freeware software, too. Oh. I could literally program an Nscripter. Hold on, what language does it use? Well, it uses its own language, but what's it based off of? The syntax is very simple. It's been described as a mix of basic language and assembly. Basic? They base it off of basic? What? Huh? Lua is implemented as a DLL? What? Lua and basic are the similarities? What? I mean, I can see where it could be easy, I guess, for beginner developers, but Lua and basic? Sorry. Side tangent. Side tangent. I'm gonna end that side tangent before I get too close, but Lua and basic? I mean, I guess that also makes sense. Like, it makes sense? Oh. I just mainly know C and Python-based languages. Like, I know too much of C, so... My god, like, okay, basic and Lua. They're not the most difficult things in the world. I don't know if I would ever program something in Nscripter, though. I feel like a lot of the support for that game engine is probably for the Japanese audience, but maybe. Because I've been wanting to make visual novels, but I would rather use Rimpy, since I'm more familiar with Python than Nscripter. Or like the program languages they would use in Nscripter. I am really off topic. I'm just going to get back to reading. Which battles could be very intense.
ちょっぴり負けてあげちゃおっかなって気分になってたの。でもやめたわ。あんたと一つの宇宙になっちゃったら、ベルンは二度と私に愛をささやいてくれないもの。そうね。私、釣った魚に餌はあげないたちだもの。知ってるわ。だからベルンは美しく輝くのよ。思わせぶりな仕草を見せるのに、決して誰にもこびることはない気高い猫の女王のように。あんたを段ボールに変えて側面揃えて私の爪研ぎにしてあげるわ。
Well, sometimes she might go back to the claw. Although most of the time, after a few months, a cat gets bored of the scratching post and just completely ignores it for years on end.
あんたこそ三味線にして一回弾いたら飽きて押し入れに入れて埃を積もらせてあげるわよ。
I wonder what music from Burn Castle Shamisen would sound like. Oh, we're back to the Gold Land. The goat tsunami had swallowed up everything, but sea spray was still flying about. The reefs resisted the ocean that was trying to cover them, and were smashing waves left and right. The Seven Sisters of Purgatory and the Inquisitors of Heresy specialized in close-range combat, and were rapidly building a mountain of corpses. The witches fought hard too, but they would have preferred to fight at a distance if they could. Illusions alone wouldn't be enough. In these battle conditions, all the humans were thrust right into the center of the fight. Everyone in the Ushiromiya family displayed a fighting spirit equal to the witches and guarded their backs. Even humans are not powerless. They have guns. You're not powerless if you have a gun. If the goats supported fantasy, they could see these as the ultimate anti-magic weapons. If the goats supported mystery, they could use these in a much more obvious way. Those .45 long Colt bullets delivered fatal wounds to each and every goat they struck.
死に損ないどもがいつまで抵抗しやがるんですか。いい加減その辺で沈みやがれです後ろ宮。
沈めと言われればあがきたくなるのが後ろ宮よ。小娘、お前に語れるほど後ろ宮甘くはないわ。
You know, I like how the screen could imply that Kenzo has, you know, the back of Maria, Sakataro, and Lien. Like, I feel like he's just protecting them in this battle from the way that this is, like, laid out. They're probably fighting their hardest with him, but I like the interpretation that Kenzo could be protecting his grandkids right here.
あんたなんざ1986年以前に死んでるでしょうが。はしゃぎすぎなんですよこのクソじじい。
Never tell Gramps to stop moving. Erika's razor-sharp sky buried itself in Kinzo's chest. Oh fuck, did they just kill Kinzo? It looked straight into his heart, but the daring smile on Kinzo's face didn't even falter.
ほう、我が死を猫箱の外の誰が観測したというのかな。あれは不滅なり。不滅なり。
A punch containing the entirety of Kinzo's last spark of life sent Erika flying. Oh no!
お父さんお父さん。
Oh, they're actually gonna kill Kinzo! Oh my fucking god! Are they actually killing him?
踏み越えてゆき、我が屍。後ろ宮家は振り返るな。
Are they actually gonna kill Kinzo right here? Oh my fucking god! As Erika tried to deliver the finishing blow, Fox stepped in between them, blocking the way. Wait, is Kinzo dead? Wait, what the fuck? Did Kinzo just die? Hold on. Did Kinzo just fucking die? Oh no, he's still alive. He's still alive. Okay. I thought they just killed him. Also, good on you, Klaus, to protect your father right here.
親父殿に代わって私がお相手し。
Oh no, is Erika gonna just pick off the Ushiromiya family members one by one in chronological order?
おや無能投資家の大先生ではございませんか。よくもまあ儲からない話ばかりを見つけて散財なさるものです。
He would definitely invest in crypto if he was in the 2020s.
失礼。靴紐が溶けてはいないか。
Did you fucking fall for the easiest trick in the book? That's the easiest fucking trick in the book! Oh my god, how do you manage to fall for that? Erika tried to look down at her feet, but what she saw was Klaus's left fist. Yes, that's how you get uppercut in the face! Klaus's left uppercut made Erika float in the air. Yes. Yes. That's what happens when you fall for the easiest trick. Klaus is a boxer. And if he says, oh, at least I remember to tie my shoes, you don't look down because you're going to get an uppercut to the fucking face. Not by magic, but by the simple laws of physics. For an instant, Erika saw the moon. Damn. That must have hurt his
私は
fist.
投資家としては無能だろう。だがボクサーとしての才能は大学時代の友人たちが証明するだろう。
A classic class move. Yes, this is certified class moment.
お前ごとき小娘に我が後ろ宮の全てを否定することなどこの後ろ宮クラウスが許さん。
学園祭で私はカノン君をみんなに紹介したぜ。サクにヒナに他にもみんなに友達みんなが証明する。お前らの勝手な想像で私たちの仲を勝手に決めつけるんじゃねえぜ。
She has a very good point. Jessica's body blow made the goat's massive body cave in. I wonder if that's a response to a fan actually making a theory on that. Because Cannon literally showed up at the school festival and Jessica's friends saw him. Like, I wonder if that's an actual response to a theory that someone had.
お見事ですお嬢様。
I bet that was Rikishi just saying fuck you to the fan because they didn't read closely.
このような窮地でよくそれだけの力を。そりゃそうだぜ。だって私今死んでもいいかなって思っちゃってる。カノン君に背中を預けて初めての共同作業だもんな。
Is it?
それがケーキカットじゃないのが残念だけどさ。
Damn, she won a marriage. Jessica laughed embarrassedly. She looked even more relaxed than she had on stage at the school festival.
なら
That smile.
僕たちはケーキ以外のものを切断しましょう。
I mean, hey, cutting the goat may be better than cutting the cake at a wedding ceremony.
いちいちカノン君が言うことはかっこつけすぎなんだよ。だがそれがいい。
The massive bodies that rushed at them, trying to deny their relationship and their very existence, had two choices: be sliced or be struck. Each time one of the bodies hit the floor, it became proof that the two of them existed. She went to the aquarium. This is gonna be a response to everyone calling him an incel. Damn.
ジョージ様危ない。
Oh. Whoa, that's cool. That's cool frame. Is that him catching Goat's fist? The goat's log-sized fist buried itself in Jordan's face. This was the middle of a massive, confused battle. He ate the letter! Please tell me that's actually in the game. That would be hilarious. He ate the letter. That's a good one. That is a good one. There was no way to dodge an unexpected attack like that.
ネクラな引きこもりいいと僕への評価はどのようなものでも甘んじていけよ
George had indeed been hit with a fist right to the center of his face. However, he didn't bend over backwards, not even an inch. The goat started to wonder what it was he had hit. Hadn't he punched a human made of flesh? It was as though he snapped his fist into a steel wall, and it was his fist that was hurting. However, the goat was too scared to move his fist from George's face. After all, he did. The expression on that face would probably be too terrifying. George pressed his hand against that fist.
僕の学生時代の同期たちが証言するだろう確かに僕はネクラで社交的な人間じゃなかった
Is this gonna lead up to a zoom out of George looking actually badass for once?
もう一つとても重要なことを証言するだ
What is your top 3 in terms of meta power for the Ushiromiyas? Ooh. Ooh. I had to do a full camera for this one. Oh god, top 3 in terms of meta power. I think number 1 is Battler, without a doubt. Battler is literally a warlord. Maybe not warlord, but a warlock, basically. Like, he basically has the will and power of the Ushiromya family. He can spawn the 7 Sisters of Purgatory, and he literally hosts a party where he has the balls to fight witches. He also has the balls to fight Burn Castle. Like, in terms of meta power, I think Battler has quite a bit of power. We've not seen him use it as often, but he's been able to use the Blue Truth to fight Beatrice, who's a relatively strong witch. So he's been able to fight Beatrice himself. And he was also able to, fight Erica with, multiple different theories. Like, he's able to fight some pretty strong people. So I think Battler ranks the top in the Ushiromya family. In terms of meta power for the next family member, my top is probably Battler, Angie, and Kirie, I suppose. Ooh, Angie's a good contender. I was not thinking of Angie because my next one would have been Kinzo, because Kinzo can literally bring out the Chiester sisters. Like, he can bring out the Chiester sisters, and I feel like with his knowledge of the occult, as well as just like all the stuff he has researched, he has some pretty good meta power. Like, the whole entirety of episode 4 just shows how powerful Kinzo is as a contender. So I actually put Kinzo above Angie. However, there's another character I put above Angie, and it's literally Kirie. Kirie was able to defeat Jessica through sheer willpower alone. Like, it was Kirie's, what do you call it? Well, she was also able to defeat Sister of Purgatory almost through her envy. I think it was envy that was Kirie's sin, because she was envious of Asumu. Due to Kirie's envy alone, she's a powerful contender. I think she's number 3. Like, only Kinzo and Battler probably would be able to defeat her in terms of Ushiromya family members. Like, that's what I'm thinking. Though, of course, I probably need to, do a whole power scaling and, make a lot of considerations for other family members. But from the top of my head, it's Battler, Kinzo, and Kirie. Battler, because he's literally a warlock that could, literally, like, absorb Kinzo's power of being the head of the Ushiromya family. Like, he even defeated Kinzo as he was a dragon! Kinzo's a fucking dragon! That's why he's number 2, but Battler was able to defeat a fucking dragon! Like, if Battler's not number 1 in anyone else's list, I want to see your reasonings. I literally want to see your reasonings if Battler's not your number 1 in power scaling, because he defeated Kinzo in his dragon form. Like, how do you fucking defeat a dragon with just logic? I'm exasperated. But Kinzo can turn into a fucking dragon! Like, he is in the top 3 for that alone! Although Kirie is a good contender because of her envy. Her envy alone makes her super powerful. Oh, man. Yeah, power scaling is probably also on my list of things I want to cover after I'm done with the Umineko visual novel, like for another video. Power scaling alone. My god. And my friends who are in the shonen fighting game community, who I'm gonna have interesting conversations with them, but they need to read Umineko as well to understand my point in terms of meta fighting. You know what? I swapped Angie for Kinzo. I think you are right, yeah. Like, Angie's pretty powerful, but I don't think Angie could defeat a fucking dragon at her level from what we've seen so far. Like, she was able to hold herself against Beatrice, so I will give her that. I will give her that she was able to stand against Beatrice. However, I feel like her mother's envy outweighs Angie's magical abilities as the Witch of the Future at the current moment. I might change my mind, though. Like, if I look more into Angie's power compared to Kirie's power, I might change my mind. But Kinzo, he's my solid number 2 because of the dragon thing alone, as well as like the entirety of episode 4. George was only grabbing the goat's massive fist in his tiny hand. However, that fist was being crushed as though it had a vice around it. And I'm not going to discount characters like Angie and Floss, because Floss, literally through his boxing alone, he's been able to fight a lot of magical creatures by hitting them. Like, he's able to hit magical creatures with his fist through boxing alone. That in itself is pretty powerful. Oh, wait. Would Ava count? Because yes, Ava and Ava Beatrice are separate characters, but if we think of them as the same being, or analogs of the same being, I think Ava would actually take number 3, or number 2 even, if we think about Ava, Beatrice, and Ava. Ooh. Yeah, I just thought about that. Ava could defeat Kenzo in this ranking if we count her as Ava Beatrice, if we count them as 2 of the same thing. Even though the other hand was tiny, the goat couldn't even move its fist.
後宮ジョージは自分に対する一切のことで喧嘩をした試しはない。どのような挑発にも逃げ回る臆病な少年だった。誰もがそう証言するだろう。でも喧嘩を一度もしたことがないとは誰も証言しない。
I accepted the fact that someone as pathetic as me would be bullied.
だが
Oh! Yep, I predicted that. I predicted that they're gonna, actually make one badass image of George for this final game. Well, as soon as I saw the hand grabbing the fist, like the up-close shot of that, I knew it was gonna zoom out to something like this.
そんな僕に味方してくれる人、あらゆる挑発と挑戦を断じて一度たりとも僕は許したことはない。
The goats broke a teeth, flew through the air. George's furious feet split the heavens. A goat's filthy finger touched Shannon's back. Oh, you're fucked. Shannon's gonna whip your ass. That finger exploded and boiled away.
私のジョージさんへの愛は純粋で高潔です。ジョージさんは私が記した手紙のすべてを保管なさっているでしょう。それらをご覧いただければ証明できるでしょう。
A blazing red light charred the goat's entire body. And that point you said, goat, like that point you just said, it's up to interpretation. Shannon slowly turned around, her face full of rage and contempt. Ooh, the next few rounds of goats are not gonna have a good time.
愛を知らぬ哀れな観測者よ。お前にはミステリーはおろか人の心を読む資格さえもありません。起きえなさい。
An absolute barrier rose up around Shannon, burning up the goats and around her with its flames. Sorry, it's Maria and Rosa's turn to shine.
そうだね。確かにマリアたちは死んでいるかもしれない。でもね、だからって誰にもマリアたちのことを批判することはできない。マリアとママの愛は誰にも否定できないんだもの。
Maria smiled, showing her teeth, and performed her job without even looking at her hand. What is Maria doing? Then, she tossed a fully loaded rifle up straight up into the air. Ah, she's supporting Rosa.
来なさいよ。
Okay, that's actually one of the coldest lines from Rosa. That was actually pretty cool. Rosa, who stood back to back with Maria, caught it without turning around. Now that all the letters made them happen, even or not, contain a part of the soul of the author. You see, George ate all Shannon's letters so that he could feel the love coursing through his veins. That's how the letters work. Shannon infused her love power into the letters that George ate, and George grew more powerful after eating the letters. No, that wasn't all. Maria had passed the gun to her mother perfectly, without even looking back. Rosa's head was pointed at the ground as she stroked the frigid trigger with her index finger.
私とマリアに愛を疑うやつは前へ出なさいよ。
The Prodigams, cowed by Rosa's ferocity, didn't get any closer to her.
じゃあ私が否定してあげます。
Okay, Erika standing up to the plate. Wipe the cloth.
浮気性のあんたはいつだって男のところを遊び歩いてマリアを一人ぼっちにしてました。
What proof do you have of Rosa cheating on anyone? Like, yes, she did, you know, talk with some guy. But is it really cheating if her husband left her?
マリアの日記にはそんなこと一言も書いてないもん。
あんたが一番知っているでしょうが。ローザはあんたを愛してなんかいない。産んだことさえ後悔してるクソったれな母親じゃないですか。
Ooh, that doesn't really count like cheating at all. The song even changed. She definitely awoken a monster right there. Like, I was gonna say, like, the image alone of Rosa's silhouette with the gun pointed at Erica, that alone would show the amount of hatred that Rosa has for Erica right now, but the song changing. Songs do not change like that in Umineko unless someone's really showing a, you know, a big change of emotion. Erica was peering at the unfeeling moon, the taste of metal in her mouth, and she had just got shot in the mouth. For a moment, she didn't realize what was happening. Maybe not, she could just maybe taste the blood. It was that cold feeling on her back. Huh? Why am I down? What do you do for? Come think of it. She was shot in the fucking mouth. There's a, oh my god, she just got shot in the mouth. She picked up that. She was laying sprawled on the ground. The gun barrel shoved in her mouth. Oh, she's not been shot yet. Oh my god. Oh my god. And the thing splitting the moon. There's an angry scene of the wolf protecting the shot. No words! Holy shit! Not even a single word! The gun barrel exploded inside her mouth, shattering her medulla oblongata. I wonder how Kane had to be depicted this in the manga. So it was only after.
恐ろしい女です。こいつ本当に人間。
Erika, who had escaped death at the last moment by leaving an after image, found a metallic flash right before her eyes, which had there even before he reacted. Holy fucking shit! If Rosa has no dialogue in this whole scene alone, that kind of puts Rosa up there in the power ranking scale. Holy shit! The fountain pen would. A fountain pen? The fountain pen went straight through Erika's eyes, crushing it. Of course, that was another after image. However, when Erika escaped and reappeared somewhere else, Akil was already there waiting for her. To go to perspective. Several after images of Erika seemed to be appearing at once, all of which were pierced by Rosa at the same time. Holy shit. Damn! Damn!
次に行ったら本気で殴る。
This is literally like a similarity between like the whole meme of Shaggy only using 1% of his power. Rosa just used 0.5% of her power.
ママは強いんだよ気わかんな
And so, Erica couldn't reappear anymore. At the very least, not within Rosa's range of attack. Erika put a lot of distance between her and Rosa, reappearing in midair.
こいつら何なんですかわけがわからない
Erika's animal instinct made her turn her head slightly to the side just in time. Where her head used to be, there was an odd shower of sparks. It was magic. It was a real physical phenomenon caused by lead smashing against lead. Think that two bullets shot from different angles could have flown with impossible precision at where her head once was, so that both of them hit and bounced off each other like billiard balls.
あら惜しい
Damn.
悪いね。
Man, double teaming.
俺たちの趣味は親玉狙い。
You know, that's probably the best way to go about some games, actually. Take out the boss first and then deal with the minions. Because the minions are very weak, and they're going to be respawned anyway, so why not kill the spawner?
私たちクレイは得意よあまりのんびりお空を飛ばない方がいいんじゃないかしら
The two of them spun the rifles in exactly the same way at exactly the same time, reloading them in a manner that put old weapons to shame, then pointing them back out to where Erica was in the sky.
この化け物どもが
Once again, their accurate shots plunged through the forehead of Erika's after image, bouncing off each other like billiard balls with a shower of sparks. Well, the Goldland's not in a ruin. This time, Erica appeared far behind them. She had to admit it. She even forced her escape to a place outside the range of those guns fired by humans. Then, the light from the moon was blocked. The place she had fled to so rapidly exploded, sending chunks of rubbish flying. A massive longsword had been plunged into the ground. Oh, it's Will. It was Delnor. Oh, Delnor! Delnor's fighting Erica. This is so funny.
おや私のお友達じゃありませんか
I think Delnor is just staring at Erica with hatred right now. She had dodged by a hair, but this bulky, brutal longsword was more of a cannonball shaped like a sword that's looking for cutting with. Everyone is here. Oh yeah, the entire roster. Even though she dodged it, the blast of air pressure made her eardrums throb. Delnor was serious. She seriously intended to smash Erica to bits.
どうしたんです怖い顔しちゃってもう少し可愛い顔ができればいいのに
楽しいですか人の夢や幻想を打ち壊すのは
楽しいに決まってるじゃないですかそれこそが知的蹂躙の醍醐味でしょうが
あなたは邪悪な人ですしかしそれでも同情できる邪悪だと信じていました
あんたに同情を頼んだ覚えはあります
Oh my god!
あなたを直ちに切り伏せなかったことそれが今日を招いた私の罪です
Man, there's some very cool lines going on here. Delnor's hair bristled with rage. The sight of this expression on one of her old friends hit Erika to the spot.
我が友よ痛みさえ分からぬうちに私があなたを解放しましょうあなたがこれ以上の罪を背負わぬようにです
Ooh, that's mild one. Devious. The force of anger that welled from Delnor's core body struck Erica. Or rather, the swirl blasting wind from Delnor's massive longsword sent her flying. cannonball with a blade repeatedly cracked the ground just after Erika leapt away. So it almost looked as though Erika was coming backwards, smashing the earth beneath her with each jump.
ドラボール我が友よ眠れ安らかにです
The great longsword split the air again, pulverizing the ground. Was she hit? However, this time, Erika was nowhere to be seen. Where did she escape to? Erika had broken the barrier of the Golden Land, landing on a ship whose bow was barely in sight. Practically speaking, she had to run away. Fully aware of this, Erika howled, her face contorted with humiliation. Her shoulders heaved with her breathing, and she even forgot to fix her hair. The sky fell from her hand and landed with a clank to the floor. That sound brought her back to her senses.
くそ誰ヤギども何をぼさっと見てやがんです肛門開け断種概念否定炸裂弾無標準無感染射撃ぶちかませ
She's crashing out. The warships that had flown into the Golden Land opened their gun ports one after another, and then they all fired at once in a scattered mess of cannonballs. The hundreds of explosive rounds they fired would negate the concept of anything or person they touched, smashing them into little bits and setting them ablaze with flames. The battlefield full of riding guns became a fiery hell. Damn, they're breaking up the Golden Land with the cannonballs. The cannonballs smashed the armor. The once beautiful garden maze was burned down bit by bit. The clean gold butterflies were wrapped in flames, burning into nothingness like little scraps of paper. This was no longer a battlefield where two sides fought for victory. It was just a confused, hushed pot of boiling water. The Golden Land was being torn apart. The once beautiful rose garden was now filled with explosion craters, and its rose petals were scattered about without meaning. There were flying with the flesh, blood, and straws, shrieks and half-crazed screams, and even amidst this hellish world, the ghosts of the dead continued to fight. As seen from atop the boats, this was hell without a doubt. Federica yelled. The ghosts on the boats ran around frantically, and one by one. Massive anchors hung by chains were thrown from the ship's bows down to the earth below. Those anchors smashed through not only the ground, but the bottom of the Golden Land itself, digging in with their wedge-shaped tips.
Erika!
おやベアトリーチェさん何しろこの大混戦あなたを見つけられず途方に暮れておりました
Beatrice landed on the front tip of the warship, facing off against Erika, who stood on the bow.
貴様は許さぬこの場でわらわが討ち取ってくれるわ
Damn. Beato jabbed with her pipe. It transformed into a beautifully intricate golden longsword. Can we see the sword?
いいでしょう望むところです決着をつけましょう
Erika threw her scythe up into the air. When it returned to her hand, it became a sword similar to Beato's. The nearby goats crowded around Erika, trying to support her.
手出し無用ですそれよりお前たちは怒りの巻き上げを黄金鏡を根元から引き裂い
Are
て
they
粉
gonna be
々にして
ramming
し
the
まいなさい
ships? Are they gonna be ramming the ships into the Golden Land? Aye, aye, sir! The goats bowed and rushed their ports. Several dozen ships had lowered their anchors, digging into the base of the Golden Land. Soon, they were going to try to pull them up, tearing the Golden Land to pieces.
来いエリカ貴様に我が最後の決闘の名誉くれてやる
Beato raised her sword, bowed in the ancient fashion, and waited for her opponent. Erica kicked off their shoes violently and slowly walked up to the tip of the boat barefoot. Then, in accordance with Beato's rules, she bowed back. It was a duel on the prow of the ship that pierced the sky. Below, the crowd of ghosts were being blasted away by indiscriminate cannonballs, thrown up and crushed into the panorama of this world's end. By now, it would be stupid to wonder whether anyone from the Ushiromiya family was still alright. Yes, it truly was the end of this world. The end of the Golden Land. Ground of dust, filled with flames. The Golden Rose Garden was burning spectacularly, with bits of fire and golden splashes flying about. The ground creaked as fissures ran through it. Through to the base of the Golden Land. All the ships started pulling up their anchors at once. Crowds of mighty ghosts used all their monstrous strength to lift them. Anchors that dug into the Golden Land's base spread cracks throughout the entire Golden Land. Not just the ground, but the air itself was filled with cracks, and shards of gold fell down everywhere. The Golden Land then was adorned with the flames of hell and shrieking gold fragments with fiery red and ethereal gold. Atop the ship's prow, Beato and Erica looked down on this, their swords crossed, and sparks flying between them.
すごい光景じゃないですか。ふさわしいと思いませんか。あんたの物語の終章に。
One big final battle.
黄金鏡は終わるだろう。わらわも果てるだろう。だが我らが確かにここにあった事実を誰にも消せぬ。エンジェは至った。未来の魔女は使命と希望を持ちもうじき旅立つだろう。すでに我らは成し遂げている。あいにくだな、フルドエリカ。この戦すでにわらわたちが勝利しているわ。
This was a duel between the Master of Illusion, called the Golden Land, and the Witch who controlled Truth. The earth split behind them. The Golden Land was torn up. The cat box, known as the Golden Land, was ripped apart. The nothingness below peeked out through the cracks. The scrambling crowd of ghosts fell to the gaps and were swallowed by the sea of nothingness. Beato's friends were among them. They helped each other, lent a hand to each other, unwilling to sacrifice anyone until the final moment. Romantic and fragile illusion is the end of the world. The ground shattered and sank. It fell apart into the ocean of nothingness. None could survive. None could be saved. This was destruction. As the comrades in arms fell into the sea of nothingness, they looked up one last time, prayed. They prayed that the Master of the Golden Land would leave proof that the Golden Land had indeed existed. However, Beato did look down at them. They wouldn't have wanted to.
こここそは我らが黄金鏡、無限と黄金の魔女ベアトリーチェ、ここにあり。
The world shattered. None of them
我
rested
らは
alive.
知れど、それは敗北にあらず。
And then there were none.
そなたが生き証人となれ。その胸にわらわの切っ先にて我らの証刻み
Carve
つけ
the
てくれよう
one-winged
ぞ。
eagle into Erica's chest.
さようならベアトリーチェ。このクソったれな無限ゲームもこれでおしまいです。地獄へ落ちろこの幻が。
You can even hear the strain in their voices as they yell at each other. Damn. And we're back to Battler and Angie. Lambda Delta and Burncastle's fight to the death had passed through its phase as a dynamic clash of fireworks, and was now a clash that was quiet and motionless. These two witches, who possessed power on an entirely different level, may have been truly equal in strength. The battle could only be resolved by mutual consent if one of them lost interest or found some reason for wanting to lose. Since both were putting Since both were putting all their all into the fight without yielding a bit, they were absolutely and completely equal.
Lambda Delta, あんたが味方でよかったわ。
くそ、もう少しなんだ。早く砂になっちまえ。ふざけた魔法人め。
Balor got irritated and punched the magic circle. Oops, sorry for bumping into the mic. But there was nothing he could do except continue to watch over it. After all, the only way to dissolve it was by waiting. However, the pair of them still felt relief, if only a little. Lambda Delta really was strong. Even in a battle this spectacular, she fought on even footing. No, if you consider how confident each side looked, she seemed to have a slight advantage in Balor's eyes. She would probably manage to buy them enough time. Angie would take the key and return to the Golden Land. I bet you Lambda Delta is like Omega powerful. I think Lambda Delta is Lambda and Delta powered, not Omega power. I think I lost every single Greek viewer on my channel. They just had to endure a bit longer. However, they had no way of knowing what Lambda Delta's fate would be after this. She had disobeyed the Senate, the highest level which is in existence. Something brutal probably awaited her. However, even knowing this, Angie had to step forward into the future without looking back. That was a single duty given to her, the Witch of the Future.
お兄ちゃん、あれは何？遥か向こうから何か近づいてくるわ。
Oh fuck. Ava Beatrice though? Is it Ava Beatrice?
まずいぞ。まさか敵の増援か。
Lambda Delta and Burn Castle were glaring at each other, so they didn't notice. The cats. Heading towards them from the distance were several emerald green glints. That light proved that they were the enemies. It's the cats. They're here. Shit.
でも、ほんの数匹だけだわ。あの程度なら、ラムダデルタの敵じゃない。
They're not going for Lambda Delta though. All the cats so far seem like fish in a school, giving the impression that they'd be terrifying as a group, but not much of a problem by themselves. However, there was something different about the lights approaching them now. They were approaching in a beautiful order formation, like a constellation. Balor quickly realized that this was something new. Oh?
我が巫女よ。
Fuck! Oh no! So, Featherreed, hold on. This is an interesting show. I think you will find a lot of intrigue by just letting Balor and Angie alone.
そろそろ鍵の準備が必要な時間ではなかったか？
Oh fuck. Oh, she wants the key. Just by her tone, Balor was able to tell how great a witch this was. The entity. Rikishi Zeronana is here. The black hats that surrounded her in a graceful and systematic constellation were all wearing large capes with elegant designs. It looked as though great overlords from many worlds had been transformed into cats, leaving only their capes untouched. What Balor imagined was quite true. That was exactly what had happened. These were the overlords from many worlds that formed Feathereen's personal guard. Their bodies took the form of cats merely as a sign of respect to their master, who took the form of a human. These were entirely different from the pack of wild cats that served Burn Castle.
アウアウローラ。あら、もうそんな時間だったの？客を多少待たすのもまたパーティーのもてなし方の一つではある。
私はあまり好まぬのだがな。
As she said this, her eyes flicked to Lambda Delta. The latter bowed hurriedly. The Lambda Delta grinned. She was also sweating, her brow furrowed with tension.
久しぶりであるな、ラムダデルタ卿。
ご機嫌うるわしゅう、ダイアウローラ卿。
ここは今日をもてなすにふさわしい場所ではない。会場への道を間違えられたか？ならば私が自らパーティー会場にご案内しよう。
I don't know how Feathering's gonna react to what Angie and Balor as well as Lambda Delta is doing. She is the strongest paper out there. I think so.
それは光栄ですわ、ダイアウローラ卿。
Is Lambda Delta trying to play it cool? Feathering Augustus Aurora, the legendary Great Witch. It is said that she surpassed the level of witches, becoming a creator, and that upon reaching this forbidden plane, she was cursed with a deadly ailment. However, in life, she once turned her pet cat into a witch. Is that Burncastle? They say that the second witch wanders the sea of fragments endlessly, searching for any fragment that can revive her master from the pits of death called boredom, if only for a moment. Is this Burncastle? And so, the cat revived her master. Revived the sacred witch who had reached heights none should reach. Just as witches look down and mock humans from a higher world, calling them pieces on the game board, so she looks down and mocks the realm of witches from an even higher world, calling them pieces on a game board. If a witch's strength is measured by the height of the world they are capable of reaching, then she was like a witch, come back from the realm of the gods, the one who had touched the highest, forbidden heights and survived. Was there any chance of winning against her? No. And the Delta was unable to choose either victory or defeat by her own will.
我が巫女よ、友人と戯れるのは後にして、今は仕事をしてくれぬか。
Two meta above pieces. Two meta levels above pieces.
鍵の準備をせよ。わかったわ。途中でお使いを忘れてしまう天真爛漫さも猫の魅力である。そうは思わぬか、ラムダデルタ卿。
Lambda Delta didn't say anything, but hunger had low. From this position, it seemed that the key seal would dissolve at any second. However, Burncastle would probably find Battler and Angie before that. Once they got their hands on the key, they could leave this place immediately. Of course, this was assuming that they did so before Burncastle and Featherine found them. Burncastle mustn't be allowed to move from the spot.
ゲームセットね、ラムダ。私は大アウローラ卿の巫女よ。感激の魔女は朗読の巫女に保護を与えることを忘れてはいないわよね。
And Delta still stood slumped over, without answering. The Witch of Theater Going gave protection to her reader Mikos. If Lambda Delta attacked Burncastle, who was Aurora's Miko, then the Great Witch Aurora would follow her contract, prevent what she considered an attack against herself, and respond accordingly.
取引しましょう。
何をよ。
バトラはどこに隠れてるの？
Are you going to reveal the position?
素直に白状したら全て水に流してあげるわ。
Ooh. Is Lambda Delta going to do it?
奇跡の魔女のあんたがバトラごとき小さな駒を恐れるの？
奇跡の魔女だからこそよ。あんな小石のようなやつでも起こす奇跡があることを私は侮らないの。
その小石が 今じゃ奇跡の魔女に大出世したものね。
もう一度聞くわ。バトラはどこ？
Is Burn Castle gonna do it?
残念よ、ラムダ。それが返事のようね。
Oh no. What's gonna happen? Burn Castle turned her back on Lambda Delta. Then, she told her master that she was leaving to prepare the key, and she started swimming towards the key room. If I let her go any further, she'll find Balor and Angie. Balor readied himself. This time, it was his turn to become a sacrifice. Even though he was nothing more than a single pebble, he still put out an eye. Ooh! A candy firework exploded right in front of Burn Castle.
ラムダ、あんたは本当にバカだわ。
I don't like how the music just ended right there.
ラムダデルタ。
やっちゃったわ。バトラー、エンジェル、あとは頑張りなさいよ。
The cat overlords changed their formation, becoming a ferocious constellation that surrounded Featherreed. Then, each drew the most terrifying of magic circles from their respective worlds and began to chant.
私は少し混乱している。我が巫女よ、そしてラムダデルタ卿よ。これはどういう余興なのか。ラムダは私が鍵を取りに行くのを邪魔したいみたいよ。ほう。
Ooh, I think Featherreed's not happy.
それはどういう意味なのか。
その意味がわかんないなら、フェザリーヌ、あんたちょっと酔っ払ってるんじゃない？
Oh, 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 she's mouthing off to Featherreed. That's always not the best thing to do.
酔いざましが必要なんじゃないかしら。
Lambda Delta bluffed as well as she could. Her fingertips were shaking slightly.
巫女への攻撃は主への攻撃とみなす。
No. Oh no, Lambda Delta.
そなたも知らぬわけではあるまい。
知ってるわ。そのルールによると、私はあんたたちとやっぱり戦わなくちゃならないわけだわ。
But Featherreed's a creator. I don't think you stand a chance against a creator, though. Do you?
ほう。私の巫女がそなたの巫女に失礼をした。
Seems like Featherreed's trying to be diplomatic still.
ならば詫びよう。しかし教えてはくれぬか。今はそなたは巫女を持たぬはず。そなたにはいつの間に巫女がいたというのか。
それがね、いっぱいいるのよ。30人か40人くらい。
Are you exaggerating to buy time?
もっといるかしら。
She's trying to buy time. That's what she's doing. She is distracting Featherreed so that they have some time for the seal to break.
このラムダデルタ、相手が誰だろうと巫女に売られた喧嘩は全部買い取っちゃうんだからね。そいつらはみんな絶対のハッピーエンドを信じてる。この絶対の魔女がそんな絶対を信じて頑張ってる連中をね、見捨てられるわけがないでしょ。
40 Miko in chat.
そなたの物語も嫌いではない。我が感激に値する。しかし今の私は感激者でなく出演者である。我が巫女の親友であることを知るから一度だけ忠告する。この舞台を降りるがよい。我が観覧席にそなたのための特別な席を設けさせよう。
あんたの物語と 私が感激してる物語のどちらが面白いか考えているわ。
答えを聞こうぞ。
バトラたちの物語の方が100倍面白いわ。悪いけど今年の助演女優賞は私がもらっとくわ。あんたたち最後の人気投票は私に入れなさいよ。
You got my vote.
最低でもトップ5よ。いいわね。
Top 5, easy. We have 40 Bikos in the chat to help.
どこ見て言ってんのよ。
As Lambda Delta pretended to joke around, she calmly focused on the one weak point she could see. When she had a chance for a single attack, then a 1 in a billion shot at victory existed. It was that horseshoe-shaped memory device floating around Feathery's head. Without that, she couldn't preserve her own existence. Destroying it was impossible. But if Lambda Delta could just char it enough, she might be able to make it bug out. At least once in the past, Featherine's memory device had been damaged, and her personality and appearance had changed. However, she was aware of that herself, and probably wouldn't let that happen again no matter what. Aora, Ow. Is this a connection to Hanyu?
よかろう、ラムダデルタ
Oh, what does Hanyu's horns look like again? Hold on. Is Aora just like a connection to Hanyu? Hanyu. Okay, yeah, those horns are very similar. Those horns are very similar. I'm looking at an image of Hanyu right now. Those horns look fucking similar. Holy shit. Wait, do they have a divot in them as well? Wait, they have a divot. Yeah, Hanyu's horns have a divot in it. Yeah, they have a little scratch in it. Hold on. Yeah, I just now noticed that. They have a little scratch in it. Oh my fucking god. Is this like the big connection? I mean, okay. Rika and Burncastle, there's already an obvious connection, but Hanyu and Aora, Hanyu says ow ow. And I think, you know, I think Burncastle is called Featherine Ow Ow. Or maybe that was like a fan nickname. But either way, I see a connection here. I see a deep connection. I feel like I'm a conspiracy theorist right now. I see a connection. Lambda did indeed place 3rd in the official poll held after episode 8, but the following and final one she placed 10th. Damn. So she didn't even get in the top 5 in the last one, but she got at least in the top 5 for at least one.
そなたの脚本が準備できたならいつでも参られるがよい。
脚本なんて簡単よ。たった1行。
Oh.
華麗でキュートなラムダデルタ様が悪の黒幕アウアウローラを一撃でぶっ倒す。
Why would you say your plan out loud?
愚かなラムダ。そこまであなたが愚かと思わなかったな。猫たちは手出し無用。ラムダデルタ教より献上されるこの勇敢なる物語に対し、私自らが褒美を取らせよう。勇敢なるそなたにふさわしい物語と結末を褒美に取らせる。
メザリーヌ・アウグストゥスアウアウローラ
Lambda Delta summoned a magical power from her whole body and raised it in the mass above her head.
すまぬ。
Oh! Then the world's time stopped. Really? You're using Zawaldo?
そなたの脚本は採用しない。
Okay, I feel like this is a little cheating if you're using Zawaldo. It is normal to be a little paranoid among Rikishi fans. Yeah. Yeah.
なぜな
Ah, damn it, Hanyu. Rather than time stopping, it was more like the flipping pages of a book had stopped. Oh. Funny, in Portuguese language, aurora is the word we use to describe barking of dogs. The sound of the dogs when they bark. Okay. then you are not ready for what's to come. Fuck. In this motionless world, closely packed letters appeared.
この先の脚本を記すのは
If you think
私
that's
である
cheating.
から
I feel like, in terms of power scaling, yes, Burncastle and Lambda Delta have pretty high power scaling. Featherwing definitely has an even higher power than whatever they have seen. It was a tale that had been running up to this very moment. Featherine Augustus Aura! Lambda Delta summoned magical power from the whole body and raised it in mass above her head. This is really bad. That was where the paragraph ended. In this frozen word, Rikishi Zeronana sat with her arms crossed.
参ったものだ
Damn. I like how it's even implying that the game's glitching out as she's doing this. I like that implication.
戦いを書くのは久しぶりでな唐突にこのような展開で筆を預けられても困るというもの
When I get stuck writing, I try to write in reverse. In other words, instead of starting at the beginning, I start at the end and go backwards from there. That way, it's easier to set up foreshadowing, and I can write the story with my vision for the end in mind. The only downside is that I suddenly have to start at the climax without setting up the story first.
とりあえず戦いの顛末から遡って書いておく
Are you fucking kidding me?
ラムダデルタ卿そなたは私に敗れ生き絶える
This is so bullshit, man. As Featherine said this, words were added to the massive group of letters that filled the frozen world. However, she was starting from the end, so there was a large gap between the new worlds and the old ones.
どんな姿でそなたは敗れるのであろうなそなたの勇敢さにふさわしい勇壮な最後が良いだろうこうはどうかよくわからぬが何かに吹き飛ばされて本棚に叩きつけられ獅子がバラバラに砕け散り息絶えて暗闇に墜落して消えるなかなか派手な最後であるな
Painful way to go.
よしこれでとりあえずそな
Are
た
you
の
gonna
最
get
後
back
は
to
決ま
it
っ
later?
た
Oh, come on! The blanks in the outline Featherine spoke of were being filled up. At the same time, Lambda Delta's figure was wiped out. She doesn't speak in red, she speaks in white, directly into the dialogue. So she's using the white truth. That is an insane thing to say. I realized that as I was saying it. My god, that could be taken very wrongly. So she uses the white text of the script. After crossing her arms and thinking again, Featherine pointed in a random direction. Lambda Delta appeared, lost away by something, and slammed spread-eagled against the bookshelf Featherine had pointed at.
さてここからこのような最後に至るまでの激しい戦いを執筆せねばならぬのだが
God, that face just speaks pure evil.
今の私は今日も見抜く通り少々酔いが回ってい
I would
る
not want to know what she's like when she's drunk writing a script.
その部分は今度改めて時間を設けてじっくりと執筆することにする
Yeah, that's really OP.
今はこれにて許せきっとそなたに気に入ってもらえる勇敢な戦いぶりを執筆することを約束しようぞ
Featherine snaps her fingers. And like Gekonia, Featherine never got to writing that. The Delta had no idea what was going on. Before she could even blink, she was suddenly here, being slammed against a bookshelf.
何よこれ
She couldn't comprehend the something that Featherine had killed her with. However, it was only natural. After all, Featherine herself hadn't decided what the something was. However, And the Delta did understand one thing. She was already dead. Streams of blood dripped from the corners of her mouth. Then, lines of blood appeared on her wrists and ankles, her elbows and knees. She looked like a marionette doll of herself.
私何に殺されたの？
まったくだ、ラムダデルタ卿。良いアイデアがあったら聞かせてほしいぞ。
This is how Rikishi wrote Kikonia. He wrote the story at its end, and will eventually write the content of the story later. If we make too many jokes about Rikishi, he could pull a featherine on us. Still pinned against the bookshelf, Lambda Delta let her head slump. Her wrist, ankles, legs, arm, and neck each split into a separate part, and the marionette shaped like her lost its strings, falling in pieces into the depths below. God, that is OP. That is super OP. Nothing remained. It was all swallowed up by the darkness beneath them.
化け物とは、私を称える褒め言葉の一つであるな。
I'm gonna take a quick restroom break as we see what happens to Balor and Angie after this moment. Actually, he said very recently that the Kikonia project is not given up. Ooh, okay. So we might be getting more Kikonia news very soon. Especially with Silent Hill F coming out, I think he's gonna have a little bit of more time now, since probably Silent Hill F took a lot of his Kikonia time. But yeah, I'll be right back since I need to use the restroom. Alright. I am back. I also have only about an hour left before I need to end the stream, so I'm going to see how far I can go, but we're probably not going to be finishing this chapter this time, depending on how long it is. It could end after Lambda Delta is dead, however, I feel like we're going to get a scene with Angie and Balor facing Featherine, so I'm going to see how far I can get in the scene. So I'm probably going to have to end the stream at a good stopping point. However, I'm going to see as far as I can go, since I still have at least an hour left.
ラムダデルタ。
エンジ、見るな。お前は見るな。
Shedding frustrated tears, Angie closed her eyes tight. She must not look. The Witch of the Future must not accept Lamb Delta's defeat.
あいつはくたばってなんかいない。ただ勇敢だった。
Yeah, but he had so many side projects since episode 1 of Kikonia. The one-shot light novel Bakemono Tachiga Usobuku Koro ni, the visual novel Genso ro Goku no Kaleidoscope, and 2, Looper's visual novel. How many fucking things is Rikishi working on? Didn't Kikonia come out in like 2019? In these 6 years, how many projects did he pick up? Jesus Christ, man. Like, congrats on getting more projects, too. The Umineko Theater Project? What? Okay, I'm gonna have to look into that later. What the fuck? Yeah, I knew about Silent Hill, but the one-shot light novel Bakemono Tachiga Usobuku Koro ni, I did not hear about that, and I think I heard about Loopers. But Genso ro Goku no Kaleidoscope, I've not heard that one, actually. He has a lot of interesting side projects that is not the no naku koro ni series, so I have been meaning to check those out as well. Although I've heard from some people they're not as good as the When They Cry series.
分かってるわ。あのラムダデルタが負けるはずない。
Oh, pop. Stage play. Okay, that's even more intriguing now. Stage play. You didn't know about the Umineko Theater Project? You have to look it up when you can. It's epic. Okay, I have to see this after stream. I'm gonna look this up after the stream today. At that moment, there was a slight sound, and the golden key that hung in the air shook. The seal had finally broken. Battler grabbed at it immediately. However, at exactly the same moment, a magical tremor spread throughout the vast key room.
何？
The tremor seemed to have shaken something inside my pocket. I struck my hand in and found that the fragment Lamb Delta had given us to return to Golden Land had shattered. Fuck!
くそ、ラムダにもらったかけらが。
Fuck!
惜しかったわね。
Burn Castle, in terms of miracles, can you give us the miracle of you let this one slide?
もう逃げ場はないわよ。ベラ・カステル。ラムダがもう少し賢く立ち回っていたら、もう5秒は稼げていたかもね。そうしたらあんたたちはその鍵を手に黄金鏡に逃げ帰れていた。ラムダが主がバカだとミコも苦労するわね。
Oh.
ほう。
Fathoming quietly showed her surprise. Episode 6 of the stage play was 2 weeks ago. They got up to episode 6? How in the fuck are they going to adapt episode 8? To truly surprise her was no easy task. Oh! Holy shit! Okay, I'm surprised myself. Holy shit! He got her to bleed from both the mouth and nose. There's a reason why Valor's #1 on the power scale of the Ushiromiya family. I don't even think Kinza would be able to land a punch on Burn Castle. Okay, that's impressive. Like, there's a reason why I put him at #1, and this further illustrates my reason. The Witch of Miracles, who boasted that no one could even step on her shadow unless she whisked it, fell. After taking Battler's right fist to her face, she fell. Burn Castle's body immediately split into dust and reconstructed itself in front of Battler. He literally demolished her. And in 1 year, it's time for episode 7. Damn. As though nothing happened. However, she was holding the cheek. She couldn't undo the fact that she had been hit. For the first time in 100 years, she had let someone tread on her shadow without her consent. Her face, which gradually filled with shock. And Valor's? It could be seen. His outstretched right arm was blocking it, so his expression could be seen. It's probably pure anger.
No.
取り消せ。
何を
She didn't let the next strike hit her. Castle vanished like this, and reappeared a short distance away. However, Valley only missed by a hair's breadth. Not because she had intentionally made that happen, but for real. And she now remembers Higurashi. Yep. For the first time she's felt pain in a while, Higurashi memories have been flooding into her head. Finally, she truly began to feel the pain of being punched in the face. For many years, she had forgotten the very concept of pain. Very slowly, it was coming back to her, just like the knife wounds in her head. Or the stomach being ripped open. Take that. Castle writhed in anguish, holding her cheek. The feeling, forgotten for centuries, seemed to be hitting home hard. Val looked at her. Their eyes met. Once again, Castle remembered the emotion she had forgotten for hundreds of years. Oh my god, is she fearful of battle right now?
俺の仲間を愚弄するお前の言葉の痛みはそれを超える。
And then she shuddered. I would say that Valor's kind of terrifying at this moment because he is quietly saying this. Like, he is not, loudly yelling or screaming. He is quietly saying stuff. He is quietly saying this, which makes it more scary for Castle. When Valor now saw before his eyes, what Valor saw before his eyes, Castle shuddering for the first time in centuries. Castle's eyes, it hadn't even looked like Valor rushing at her and punching her. It was as though she had clutched towards where she stood, with furious restraint. With her eyes open wide in terror, Valor's massive fist had been all that she could see. Of course, he wasn't capable of hitting her. Castle was just like a shadow. She dodged by instant and looking after him, but mere teleportation wasn't enough to escape from Valor's furious pursuit. True. Trying to hit Burn was like instantly trying to hit the reflection of the moon on water with a stone. No matter how often you hit it, you never snatch the moon's reflection. However, Valor hit it, and again. To prevent the moon from showing on the water surface again, fiercely thrown pebbles and rebels across the water surface. It broke through the moon's reflection, broke through the water surface itself, leaving even the bottom of the pond bare, breaking through everything. Asserted willpower. Broke through to a miracle. That backwards kick that Valor shot out without even looking behind him, split through empty space. In that space, Castle reappeared with a foot in her gut. Damn! He is literally beating her up.
俺たちの勇敢な仲間を愚弄する言葉を取り消せ。
The Witcher Miracle spell. For the second time, she fell. Once. It would have been a miracle. Things that happen more than once aren't miracles anymore. Castle understood. Valor. was capable of taking. She fell, slammed against the floor, got up on her hands and knees, and vomited. She threw up violently over and over. Her face was covered with pain, vomit, tears, and snot. Then she looked up at Valor with a fierce expression, howled. She wasn't howling at laughter. Oh, crying to your master, aren't you? Crying to your master.
ミコがやられてるのよ。何を見てるのよ。やっつけなさいよ。
Damn.
すまぬが、私はラムダデリカ風の最後を記すので忙しい。私は手を貸すのだ。お前たちが少し助けてやるとよい。
Get fucked. Feathering Guard. The cat overlords now formed a different constellation. Then each drew a magic circle and began chanting.
この猫たちね、それぞれがみんなあんたのようなゲームの主人公の慣れの果て。どいつもこいつもそれぞれの勇壮な物語で主人公を務め、その勇敢なる物語に名誉を授けられ、アウローラの警護を許された。それぞれがね、国やら星やら宇宙やらの存亡をかけて戦ってきたのよ。あんたはせいぜい妹やら妄想の魔女やらとのゲームごっこがせいぜいじゃない。主人公の格が違うのよ。食らってくたばりなさい。ぶち込んでやれゲロカスだな。
He's taking this personally. Oh god, that's right!
お兄ちゃん。
There are many spectacular magical spells depicting the beginning of the universe, the creation of planets, their destruction, and the universe's end, all in an instant. After that, not a spectacle should have remained. However, when the smoke cleared, there was a person standing there. He stood there, with his hands in his pockets, and his head hanging quietly. Damn, Balor is super powerful. Okay, there's a reason why Balor's number 1 on my power scale. He keeps on proving me right. Its face it was in the shadows, could be seen.
お兄ちゃん。
何よこれ。
Balor seemed to be completely uninjured. Not only were his clothes not burnt, but his hair hadn't even been disturbed.
何よこれ。
バカ猫たち、全然聞いてないじゃない。
The cat overlords silently shook their heads, sending a short report to their master.
エンドレスマン。
なんです。
彼らの物語は誰にも邪魔できんらしい。すまぬな、我が巫女よ。どうやら猫たちにもお手上げのようだ。
何が各界の魔王たちよ。
Balor's just super powerful. Like, his power scale is pretty big.
あんたたちだってかつてはどこかのゲーム版の主人公だったんでしょ。それがこのざま。恥を知りなさいよ。
The cat knew from the very beginning. They had known that they wouldn't be able to do anything with him as the main character in this game.
我が巫女よ。ゲーム版にて物語を紡ぐのはゲームマスターのみに許された特権である。
This is Balor's game still.
それを主張された以上、私も物書きの端くれとしてそれを尊重せぬわけにはいかぬ。
And this is Balor's board.
私は感激の立場に戻ろうぞ。
役立たず主。
Burns' disgusted face is mine when I feel sugar in my mustard. What? Sugar and mustard? What the fuck? I mean, I don't even eat mustard. Like, I don't like it, but Sugar? Is mustard supposed to be sweet? I don't think mustard's supposed to be sweet.
バトラー、我が巫女がそなたの仲間を愚弄したことを謝る。そしてそなたのゲームを紡ぐ権利がゲームマスターであるそなたにあることも理解した。そなたの物語はそなたが紡ぐ。それもよかろう。だが我が巫女も今はそなたのゲームのゲームマスターでな。二人が同時にゲーム版を広げたらしい。一つのゲームに二人のマスターとはめったにないことだが、私はこの奇跡を喜んでいる。
I feel like it is sweet whenever I was outside Italy, Spain, and France. You know, I've only had mustard in the United States. I've never had mustard anywhere else since I assumed that there was not a lot of regional differences in mustard, but I don't know too much about mustard since I don't usually eat it. But that's interesting. I guess whenever I travel to Europe, I should definitely try out mustard at least one more time, just, you know, give it another shot. Huh. Yeah, I never really thought mustard was supposed to be sweet, but it could be. Like, I'm gonna be honest, I've not had mustard since I was 11, and that was like over 10 years ago. Like, God, like, that's like 13 years ago since I last actually had mustard.
なぜならそなたたちの最後のゲームにふさわしいものになると確信したからだ。
Yeah, I don't really like condiments in my food, actually. Like, I don't like ketchup. I sometimes eat with mayo, but not really often, and I don't also eat mustard. I mean, sometimes I try a relish, but that's really it.
立てベルンカステ
なるほどね。ゲームマスター同士が戦うならそのゲームに乗っ取るべきだって言いたいのね。最初からそうだと言えばいいのに。
Berncasto slowly got to her feet and made her body melt away like this. Then she appeared in the air once again, facing back.
いいわ。
Sorry, chat, for the discretion. Oh no, it's all good.
あんたのゲーム版のルールで戦ってあげる。ただ私はあんたたちほど悠長じゃないから短期そして圧倒的に出題して瞬時に終わらせてしまうわ。私のお相手は誰？二人がかりでも一向に構わないわよ。
お兄ちゃん、私も戦うわ。
来るな。
どうして？
お前はそこで密そして今度する。俺が伝えたかったことを理解しろ。
兄ちゃん。
それでいいよ、アウローラ。
私が立ち会い人となろうぞ。我が巫女を打ち破れたならそなたらを黄金鏡へ送り返すことを約束しよう。
黄金鏡はまだ残っていればの話だけどね。
I might end the stream before Balor and Berncasto start fighting. Basically, at the end of this soundtrack, and basically like before the transition into the fight between Berncasto and Balor, I might end this stream right there, so that you know, I don't go over my time limit for today because I feel like this is gonna be a big scene.
俺はみんなを信じてる。
Yeah, I don't like cutting things like in the middle of a chapter, but yeah, I do need to get going in like 45 minutes ish, so I don't feel like I should start a big scene just yet.
そうよ。ディアトやみんなが負けるはずがない。
Higurashi, the power of friendship. Umineko, the power of love, indeed. Alright, I think that's my sign to end the stream. Alright. Yeah, no, that was a good spot to end because I feel like next time we're going to have a really good battle between Burncastle and Battler, and then potentially that could be the last episode because depending on how long the battle takes, for which if it takes only like an hour, I could probably get to Angie's decision. If, you know, Angie's decision does take too long. Like, I see myself having, yeah, I feel like how, oh, do you think I could probably finish the game in the next stream? Since, yeah, no, if I could finish the game in one stream, that would be fine, but I don't mind doing 2 more. Like, I love Umineko, so it'd be very fun to do a few more streams. But, yeah, for at least today, though, I do need to get going, and before I start a big scene, I felt like, you know, I should probably end the stream right here, and then continue on the next time I stream, for which I should be announcing that soon. I'm actually going to check my schedule real quick to see when I could probably have my next Umineko stream, since I am going to be, participating in a streaming festival for the rest of this week, so I will be a little busy with the festival stuff, but I know that after the festival I'll be getting right back to Umineko. Yeah, I'm going to be making the announcement for that festival very soon. Let me actually go to full camera view, since the end of the stream anyways, and I'm not going to show any further game footage. But yeah, for the next Umineko stream, oh yeah, it's probably going to be this time next week, actually. Like, I'm not even going to lie. It's going to probably be around when I'm streaming right now next week, when I'll be finishing up Umineko, most likely. But, yeah, I have a lot of streams ahead of me, especially with that festival. So I am going to get things started up for that streaming festival that I'm going to be announcing by the end of today. I should be announcing it by the end of today, since yeah, that's going to be my big thing for the next for the rest of, like, this month, actually, yeah. For the rest of this month, I'll be doing that. But thank you, everybody, for watching the stream today, and, yeah, no, I'm repeating my words because I'm exhausted, but that was a really good episode. Alright, yeah. I'm going to be heading out right now, but thank you all for watching, and I'll see you all around.